Welcome back, everybody. Ready to dive into the world of AI.
Always fascinating to see how these systems are evolving.
It really is. And today we're looking at how AI is stacking up against, well, us.
Humans, yeah.
Humans, exactly.
Yeah.
So the report we're using for this deep dive is called Test Scores of AI Systems on Various Capabilities Relative to Human Performance. It's from Our World in Data, and it was published on April 2nd of this year.
Yeah, it's a great report. It really gives you a clear picture of like where AI is excelling and where it's still,
Struggling to catch up.
exactly. They use all these benchmarks to test AI models in different areas.
Like a report card for AI. How's it doing in school?
That's a good way to put it. And they compare AI performance to, well, human performance, or the baseline.
The 0 point.
Yeah,
Right.
the 0 point. So you can see on their graph, anything above 0 means the AI is actually outperforming humans.
Okay, I'm picturing a graph in my head. So the x-axis is time. What's on the y-axis?
The y-axis is the AI's performance relative to us. Like a score of -1 would mean the AI is lagging behind.
Got it. So where did AI first start exceeding human performance? Like, what was the first benchmark it really aced?
Well, one of the early successes was in handwriting recognition with the MNIST database, teaching
Ooh.
machines to see and understand those handwritten digits.
Oh, right, MNIST. And that was, what, around the year 2000?
Yeah, somewhere around there. I mean, think about it. We were all using Palm Pilots back then. It feels like ancient history now.
It does.
Oh.
But it really laid the groundwork for what was to come.
Absolutely. Like AI had to learn its ABCs before it could move on to more complex tasks. And speaking of which, the next big milestone came in 2015 with image recognition.
Image recognition.
Yeah, this is where AI started to really see the world around it. The benchmark they used was ImageNet, which is this massive database of images. Think of it like a visual encyclopedia. And by 2015, AI was outperforming humans at identifying and categorizing objects within those images.
Wow. And that had huge implications for things like medical imaging and self-driving cars, right?
Exactly. Those are just a couple of examples. But AI wasn't done there. In 2017, it tackled another big one, speech recognition.
Speech recognition.
Yeah.
Using the switchboard benchmark.
That's the one. And this one was all about transcribing and understanding like real human speech, which, as you know, can be pretty messy.
Oh, yeah, all those ums and ahs and slang we throw in there.
Exactly. But even with all that messiness, AI systems were starting to outperform humans at this by 2017. And you can see the results all around us now, right? With things like Siri and Alexa.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I talk to my devices more than I talk to some people.
Me too. But understanding speech is one thing. What about actually comprehending it? Like being able to read something and understand the meaning behind the words.
Right. So like reading comprehension.
Exactly. And for that, they used the Squad 1.1 benchmark, which is basically like giving AI a reading comprehension test. And guess what?
It passed with flying colors.
It did. By 2018, AI was already surpassing human performance on this benchmark.
That's amazing. And this has implications for, what? Like research, maybe? Or education?
Oh, absolutely. Imagine like AI tutors that can personalize lessons based on a student's actual comprehension level.
That would be incredible. But, everyone knows those tricky reading comprehension questions where there isn't actually an answer in the passage.
Oh, you mean like those unanswerable questions? Yeah, those can be tough.
Could AI figure those out too?
Well, that's where the Squad 2.0 benchmark comes in. It's like the Squad 1.1, but with those unanswerable questions thrown into the mix. And get this, by 2019, just a year later, AI had mastered it.
So AI learned to recognize when it didn't know the answer. That's pretty impressive.
It is. It shows a deeper level of understanding, like critical thinking.
Yeah.
Because to know that you don't know something, that requires some pretty sophisticated reasoning.
For sure. So by 2019, AI had aced handwriting, images, speech, reading comprehension. What was next?
Well, the next big hurdle was the GLUE benchmark. That stands for General Language Understanding Evaluation.
Okay. That sounds pretty comprehensive.
It is. It's all about like testing AI's general ability to understand language across all sorts of tasks. Think like chatbots, translation, content generation. All those things require a really good grasp of how language works.
So did AI conquer GLUE too?
It did. By 2020, AI was starting to outperform humans on this benchmark as well.
Wow, 2020. That's a lot of progress in a very short amount of time.
It is. But it's not all smooth sailing for AI. There are still some benchmarks where it's struggling to catch up to human performance.
Okay, well, that's a good place to
pause.
To pause, yeah, exactly. We'll come back and explore those in part 2 of our deep dive, so stay tuned.
So we've seen how AI has aced a lot of these benchmarks, right? Handwriting, images, speech, reading comprehension, pretty impressive stuff.
It is. But
Oh.
you were just saying that there are still some areas where AI is struggling to keep up with us humans.
Yeah, exactly. Like some of these benchmarks are proving to be much tougher nuts to crack. One of them is BBH, which stands for Big Bench Hard. It's all about like complex reasoning and problem solving.
Oh, okay. So like the kind of thinking you need to, I don't know, solve a really complicated puzzle or maybe come up with a new invention?
Exactly. Thinking outside the box, coming up with creative solutions. And for now, at least, humans are still better at this kind of like flexible, adaptable thinking.
Okay, well, that's good to know. What are some of the other benchmarks that are giving AI a run for its money?
Another one is GSM-8K, which focuses on solving grade school level math word problems.
Wait, really? AI can beat us at chess, but it struggles with, like, figuring out how many apples Johnny has left after giving some to his friends.
It's not about the math itself, it's about understanding the context of the problem and then applying the right logic, and that's surprisingly difficult to teach a machine.
That makes sense. So what else is out there in terms of these challenging benchmarks?
Well, there's HelloSwag, which tests AI's ability to predict how a situation is going to play out. So, like, understanding the flow of events, the motivations of the characters involved.
So, like, predicting what's going to happen next in a movie or something.
Yeah, exactly. Humans are really good at this kind of intuitive reasoning, but it's proven to be tricky for AI.
Interesting. It's really fascinating to see, like, where AI excels and where it still needs to
You'd chip.
catch up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what other benchmarks are out there on the horizon?
One that's getting a lot of attention is human evol. It focuses on code generation.
Code generation. So like AI writing computer programs.
That's the idea. It requires that kind of logical problem-solving mindset that's essential for programming. And while AI is making progress, it still has a way to go before it can match up to, a skilled human programmer.
Right. It's kind of mind-blowing to think about, AI systems potentially becoming programmers or doctors or whatever. But I also can't help but wonder, like, what does all this rapid progress mean for us humans?
It's the big question, isn't it? And it's one we'll definitely explore as we dive into the last two benchmarks in this report, MMLU and SuperGLUE.
Okay, those sound intense. What are those all about?
Well, MMLU stands for Massive Multitask Language Understanding, and it's a beast. It's all about testing AI's general knowledge and understanding across a huge range of subjects.
So like a giant quiz show for AI.
You got it. It's
Yeah.
like a massively expanded version of those standardized tests we all took in school. It really puts AI's knowledge to the test.
Wow. And what about Super GLUE? What makes that one so super?
Think of Super GLUE as like the graduate level version of the GLUE benchmark. It takes things to a whole other level, It's designed to really push the boundaries of language understanding.
So AI is working its way up the academic ladder. That's pretty amazing.
It is. And the fact that AI is even attempting these benchmarks, it just shows how far the field has come.
It really does. But, with all this talk of AI systems rivaling humans in these complex tasks, it does make you wonder, where does that leave us? What's our role in all of this?
That's the question, isn't it? And it's one we'll dive into in the final part of our deep dive.
Right. So stay tuned, everyone. We're going to explore what this AI revolution means for us humans and how we can navigate this rapidly changing landscape. Welcome back to the show. We spent this deep dive exploring the world of AI benchmarks, and wow, AI has come a long way.
It's really remarkable, isn't it? The speed of these advancements is just mind-boggling.
I know. From handwriting recognition to understanding complex language, AI is rapidly evolving. But, the big question on everyone's mind is, what does this mean for us humans? As AI becomes more sophisticated, how do we fit into this picture?
Right. Everyone's wondering if they're going to be replaced by robots. But I think it's more nuanced than that. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used to enhance our capabilities, not necessarily replace us entirely.
So instead of fearing AI, we should be thinking about how we can work with it, how we can use its strengths to, complement our own.
Exactly. AI is great at processing huge amounts of data, identifying patterns, automating those routine tasks. But there are still areas where humans have a distinct advantage.
Okay, tell me more. What are these human superpowers that AI can't replicate?
Think about things like creativity, empathy, critical thinking, complex decision-making. These are skills that require intuition, emotional intelligence, a deep understanding of human behavior.
So we're not all destined to be replaced by robots.
It's not about replacement, it's about augmentation. AI can free us from those tedious tasks, giving us more time to focus on things that require those uniquely human skills.
I like the sound of that. But how do we prepare for this future where humans and AI are working side by side? What kind of skills should we be focusing on?
Well, adaptability and continuous learning are key. We need to be open to embracing new technologies, learning new skills, and constantly evolving.
So it's not just about learning how to code. It's about nurturing those human qualities that make us unique.
Exactly. Things like communication, collaboration, problem solving, critical thinking. Those are going to be more valuable than ever in a world where AI is handling a lot of the heavy lifting.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive. We've talked about the rapid evolution of AI, its strengths, its limitations, and the potential impact it's going to have on our lives. What's the one big takeaway you want listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing is that the future of AI is not set in stone. We're shaping it with every decision we make. It's up to us to ensure that AI is a force for good.
That's a powerful thought. So to our listeners, as you navigate this world of rapidly advancing AI, remember to stay curious, stay adaptable, and never stop learning. The future is full of possibilities, and we can create a really amazing future with the help of AI if we approach it with the right mindset.
Well said. I think that's a perfect note to end on.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. And until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.